In a distant galaxy, the starship Aurora embarks on a historic mission to explore the unknown realms of space. Captained by the brilliant but haunted Commander Alara Bryson, the crew faces uncharted dangers and awe-inspiring wonders. Their journey takes an unexpected turn when they uncover ancient relics with secrets that could alter the fate of entire civilizations. How far will humanity go when confronted with ethical dilemmas that question the very essence of their existence? If you want to dive into real stories of parallel realities every day, in enigmatic, technological worlds that are completely different from our planet, subscribe to our channel and leave your like. Well, let's go. In an uncharted galaxy where every breath is a gamble, humanity's unique biology becomes its greatest asset and anxiety. Can humans reshape interstellar diplomacy with their life-sustaining gift? Stay till the end to discover how the fate of mankind hinges on an unforeseen alliance and a high-stakes game of survival. The beginning of the journey. When the Terran ambassadors, Alex Monroe and Dr. Aiko Sato, entered the central chamber of the Galactic Council, the expectations were palpable. Alex, with his lean frame, dark and shaven stubble, and piercing green eyes that betrayed a mix of determination and underlying fear, was conscious of the weight of this diplomatic mission. Dr. Aiko Sato, a brilliant xenobiologist known for her calm demeanor and insightful perspective, stood beside him. Her petite stature contrasted with her immense intellect, highlighted by her sharp gaze that missed no detail. Her long, ebony hair was neatly tied, reflecting the precision she applied to all her work. Their goal was to forge a lasting alliance between humanity and the myriad alien species that made up the Council. The Terran Federation had selected these two individuals for this historic task due to their expertise, resilience, and profound understanding of interspecies relations. As they entered, the sight of the Galactic Council's chamber took their breath away. The chamber, an immense dome suspended amidst the stars, was a masterpiece of bioengineered structures and shimmering alien languages illuminating the air. Representatives from a staggering array of species were assembled. The reptilian Clintar with their emerald scales that shimmered under the chamber's light, the ethereal Lyrians with their translucent, luminous wings, the silicon-based strain whom resembled walking crystal monoliths, all eyed the newcomers with a mix of curiosity, skepticism, and caution. The air was thick with unspoken rules and ancient protocols of interstellar diplomacy. Hope swelled as Alex and Dr. Sato prepared to present humanity's case. They stood at the center podium, surrounded by towering holographic symbols representing each member of the Galactic Council. Alex began speaking, his voice steady yet imbued with the gravity of the situation. But as he and Dr. Sato initiated the atmospheric exchange protocol to demonstrate Earth's air composition, an unforeseen disaster struck. The release of Earth's atmosphere, rich in oxygen, sent waves of panic throughout the assembly. Oxygen, a substance so innocuous to humans, proved toxic and corrosive to many of the alien species present. In moments, the central chamber devolved into chaos. Delegates gasped, clutched their throats, and fled to the emergency exits, desperately seeking the safety of their native environmental chambers. The room, once a place of potential unity, was now a battleground of fear and misunderstanding. Alarms blared, and automated systems struggled to correct the atmospheric imbalance. Alex and Dr. Sato were immediately quarantined, a stark symbol of humanity's newfound outsider status. They stood isolated, encased within a transparent containment field, watching as the diplomatic aspirations of Earth withered before their eyes. Security drones bearing the emblems of the Galactic Council's enforcement wing surrounded them. These drones, sleek mechanical entities with multifaceted sensors and limb-like appendages, aimed their observation devices at Alex and Dr. Sato, recording every minute detail of the incident. The ambassadors were escorted away, the containment field serving as both protection and prison. In their containment chamber, Alex paced restlessly, his mind racing through the events that had just transpired. The room they were confined in was cold, sterile, and harshly lit, evoking a sense of isolation. Dr. Sato sat at a small metallic table, meticulously analyzing data streams from their equipment, seeking any clue that could help explain the extreme reaction of the council members to human air. Their ability to communicate with the Galactic Council had been severed, leaving them in a vacuum both figuratively and quite literally. As scientists and diplomats, they were acutely aware of the implications of their predicament. The Trellians, a deeply analytical race adorned with bioluminescent patterns on their elongated limbs, were known for their mistrust of anything foreign. The gelatinous Morga, who communicated through a complex series of pulsating light patterns on their bodies, might find it nearly impossible to trust humans again. Even the typically cooperative Uraxi, whose culture valued symbiosis and mutual benefit, might see this as an act of war. Humanity's entire future in the galaxy hung by a thread. Quarantined and cut off from their support, Alex and Dr. Sato faced not only the immediate peril of their situation but also the broader ramifications for Earth. Diplomatic ostracism could lead to severe resource shortages, technological setbacks, and even potential hostilities. However, it was also an unparalleled crisis that could potentially lead to unprecedented opportunities. Dr. Sato's scientific mind whirred with possibilities. The challenge was to turn humanity's unique biology into an asset rather than a liability. She posited that the high oxygen levels of Earth's atmosphere, which had initially caused such panic, might be instrumental in groundbreaking medical and technological advancements across the galaxy. Her thoughts flew to the biological resilience of humans, a potential keystone in interspecies synergy. Emerging maladies among alien species might find new treatments derived from human research. Medical nanobots could be powered by oxygen-rich environments, creating new avenues of healing. Alex, reflecting on Dr. Sato's propositions, believed that their current predicament might be their chance to underscore humanity's value. But the challenge was immense: to bridge this chasm of fear and mistrust while being viewed through the lens of suspicion. Their proposal, however innovative, would face rigorous scrutiny, a gauntlet of tests, and myriad diplomatic hoops to jump through. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the sudden disconnection of their diplomatic team sent shockwaves through the Terran Command Center. News of the incident spread rapidly, causing a stir among the scientific community, political leaders, and average citizens. Humanity's first foray into intergalactic diplomacy had erupted into a crisis of unprecedented proportions. As containment procedures were enacted in the Galactic Council's chamber, the corridors outside filled with murmurs of apprehension and curiosity. The Galactic Council, a body that had maintained peace among diverse species for millennia, was now faced with a unique conundrum. The of humanity brought a biological wildcard into the equation, whether it was worth the risk of integrating such an unpredictable element into the well-established interstellar pact. As Alex and Dr. Sato pondered their next move, a distant starship carrying reinforcements and supplies for the Earth delegation cruised towards the Council's outer perimeter. The supply ship, named Gaia's Shield, contained experts ready to assist and support, along with additional scientific equipment to aid in Dr. Sato's research. Unbeknownst to the crew aboard Gaia's Shield, the stakes had exponentially increased. Watching the pulsating lights and strange beauty of the alien surveillance systems, Alex and Doctor isolated within the cold, sterile confines of their quarantine, Alex and Dr. Sato found themselves grappling with the weight of their uncertain future. The luminescent walls of the quarantine chamber cast eerie shadows, amplifying the sense of alienation. The air was thick with a sterile, antiseptic odor, mingling with the faint scent of Earth's atmosphere that still clung to their clothes. This fragment of their home was both a comfort and a reminder of their precarious situation. Alex felt the suffocating reality pressing in, his mind racing to think of a solution that could save not just their lives but also humanity's tenuous foothold in the interstellar community. As Alex paced the length of the chamber, his thoughts churned with desperation and ingenuity. The Galactic Council's swift and almost hostile reaction to the presence of Earth's oxygen echoed in his mind. Their panic was understandable. Oxygen was a corrosive and toxic substance to many of the species represented in the Council. Yet, within this peril, Alex glimpsed an extraordinary opportunity. He knew that Earth's atmosphere could be reimagined not as a curse but as a cure. Dr. Sato, meticulously documenting her observations, glanced up at Alex. Her sharp intellect was matched only by her calm demeanor, a stark contrast to Alex's barely restrained anxiety. "We have to turn this around," Alex declared, his voice barely a whisper yet charged with urgency. "Our biology, our atmosphere could be a resource, not a threat." The pair spent hours drafting a proposal, their minds alight with scientific hypotheses and potential applications. They posited that the unique properties of oxygen, despite its initial toxicity, could be harnessed for revolutionary medical and technological advancements. These theories hinged on the assumption that controlled, minimal exposure to oxygen could stimulate biological processes that many of the Council's species had never experienced. Contained within their sterile cage, Alex and Dr. Sato presented their proposal to the Galactic Council. The Council members, a diverse assembly of beings with various biologies and perceptions, regarded the presentation with a mixture of skepticism and intrigue. Their alien features, beyond human comprehension, displayed their hesitation, but the potential benefits were too significant to ignore. The Council's response was a cautious agreement to subject humanity and their theories to extensive tests. The testing process was grueling and invasive. Every aspect of human physiology was scrutinized. Samples were taken and subjected to rigorous analysis. The team of alien scientists, led by the meticulous and enigmatic Dr. Zenor, a multi-limbed researcher with chameleon-like skin that shifted colors with his emotions, pushed both technology and ethics to their limits. Dr. Zenor, whose species thrived on intellect and precision, embodied both the Council's unease and its scientific ambition. Alex and Dr. Sato endured countless examinations, their resilience tested daily. The chamber walls seemed to close in as hours bled into days, but the fire within them never waned. They engaged in intense discussions about the implications of their discovery, pondering the ethical ramifications of introducing such a potent element to the galaxy. They worried about the potential for dependency and exploitation, the risks of wielding a life-sustaining resource in a delicate balancing act of power. Outside their quarantine, whispers of humanity's potential began to spread. The initial apprehension was gradually replaced by curiosity. Prominent among those intrigued was Valora, an insectoid student from the planet Savoria. Valora's species excelled in symbiotic relationships. Their very biology was testament to adaptation and cooperation. Her large, multifaceted eyes and iridescent exoskeleton captured attention, but it was her intellect and unyielding curiosity that set her apart. Valora's fascination with Earthlings grew, driven by an insatiable desire to understand how humans could survive and thrive with such a potent element in their atmosphere. One particularly insightful experiment involved the Corethians, a reptilian species whose physiology was highly resistant to oxidative stress. Alex proposed a controlled exposure to oxygen, theorizing it might accelerate their regenerative capabilities. The Corethian volunteers exhibited astounding results. Their wound healing processes nearly doubled in efficiency. This breakthrough ignited a spark of hope and further scientific inquiry. The Galactic Council's skepticism began to wane as the medical and technological potentials of oxygen were evidenced through these experiments. The tension in the quarantine chamber slowly eased as Alex and Dr. Sato's predictions began to bear fruit. Despite the progress, underlying apprehensions persisted throughout the galaxy. Racial tensions flared as species argued the ethical implications of sharing such a potent resource. Some feared humanity would become indispensable, tipping the balance of power. Dr. Zenor, initially one of the most vocal critics, became a reluctant advocate for the human cause. His analytical nature could not deny the empirical evidence presented. The council's sessions were rife with debate, often devolving into heated discussions. They weighed the undeniable benefits against the potential for tyranny or dependency. As the council grappled with these ethical dilemmas, Alex and Dr. Sato continued their work, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Alex, still haunted by the threat of galactic ostracism, found solace in Valora's unwavering enthusiasm. Her species' adaptive nature and historical harmony provided a unique perspective that often helped Alex navigate the multifaceted challenges that arose. The strained dynamics within the council were reflected in the broader galactic society. Media outlets buzzed with speculation and opinion, broadcasting across millions of star systems. The narrative alternated between lauding humanity as potential saviors and decrying them as possible catalysts for interstellar conflict. Alex saw the extent of their influence growing, and with it, the weight of responsibility pressed heavier on his shoulders. Amidst these political machinations, Alex found an unlikely ally in Valora. Her insights into symbiotic relationships offered a fresh perspective on how humanity could integrate their technology and resources without dominating. Together, they devised strategies that emphasized shared benefits and collaborative advancements. Valora's species had long mastered the delicate balance of interdependence without subjugation, a lesson humanity desperately needed. This burgeoning alliance between humans and various species, guided by ethical considerations and mutual respect, slowly began to change the galaxy's outlook. Yet, Alex could never fully shake the feeling of looming peril. Every small victory seemed to usher in a new, more complex challenge. He knew their journey was far from over. The session where Alex proposed the first practical application of their theories was tense. Before a hushed assembly, Alex unveiled a prototype of a medical device that used controlled oxygen exposure to enhance cell regeneration. The demonstration, while technical, was gripping. The air was thick with anticipation as the device was tested on a Savorian volunteer, whose tissue regeneration rates visibly improved. The murmurs of intrigue and cautious applause signaled a breakthrough, yet the path ahead remained fraught with obstacles. As the Galactic Council begrudgingly acknowledged the validity of humanity's contributions, the debates shifted to more pragmatic concerns: resource allocation, control measures, and the fair distribution of new technologies. The central chamber buzzed with the low hum of alien technology and the murmur of hushed conversations. The ambient lighting flickered across the faces of diplomats and scientists from a multitude of species, each as enigmatic and diverse as the constellations that stretched across the cosmos. It was a stark contrast from humanity's own Earth, this immense hall made of bioluminescent vegetation and crystalline structures, a sulfurous atmosphere seething with colors all beyond Terran eyes. Alex and Dr. Sato, ambassadors of the human race, were ensconced in an isolated glass cell, transparent but unyielding. Their expressions, tinged with anxiety but laced with determination, reflected the high stakes of their proposal. They had narrowly turned the tide of their dire situation by daring to suggest that Earth's oxygen, initially seen as a deadly threat, could be humanity's unique offering to the Galactic Council. Months had passed since the initial chaotic meeting, and continuous tests and reforms had kept the tension ever palpable. Humanity's biological uniqueness was under scrutiny, their essence converted into a biological experiment on a galactic scale. Each day brought a trove of scientific data, new methods of integrating terrestrial oxygen into various alien biomes without catastrophic results. The biolab aboard the Council's orbital station became a nexus of activity. Here, amidst a symphony of beeps and a cacophony of alien dialects, human-led and extraterrestrial teams conducted their joint research. This lab was a marvel. A weave of transparent tubes, organic interfaces, and holographic displays that floated like ethereal scrolls of light. Dr. Sato spent hours collaborating with Valora, a Savorian scientist whose appearance was sheer wonder. Valora's insectoid form had a crystalline exoskeleton that refracted light into dazzling hues, each facet acting as an advanced sensory organ. Her primary eyes, multifaceted and luminescent, expressed an intricate curiosity about Earth's atmosphere and its lifeforms. Valora's hands, each a delicate array of thin, claw-like appendages, maneuvered instruments with entrancing precision. As the days turned into weeks, Dr. Sato and Valora devised an ingenious method to synthesize and integrate oxygen safely into non-Terran cells. The breakthrough came when they discovered that nanoscopic bioadaptive links could filter and regulate oxygen levels, making it beneficial rather than poisonous. Within the chamber, Alex was in relentless negotiation, shouldering the diplomacy. His adversaries ranged from the stern Bactunian envoys whose bodies were encased in dense, liquid crystal, to the enigmatic Uloth, whose floating, gaseous forms left trails of bioluminescent mist. The first medical breakthrough, resulting from these tests, was nothing short of miraculous. A critically injured Uloth, typically beyond conventional medicine's reach, experienced rapid cellular regeneration when exposed to the bioadaptive oxygen mix. This event reverberated through the Galactic Council, turning some skepticism into cautious optimism. Progress, however, brought new dilemmas and ethical quandaries. The chamber erupted in debates about the potential monopolization of oxygen, the balance of power, and ethical dilemmas involving dependency on a single species for survival. The shadows of mistrust lengthened, obscuring even the victories that humanity garnered. The delicate politics of intergalactic collaboration occupied many council sessions. Would humanity become an indispensable ally or a colonial overlord, using oxygen to dominate instead of integrate? These were questions that no algorithm or diplomatic protocol could easily solve. It was a tightrope walk suspended over an abyss of possibilities, each as perilous as the other. Valora became an unofficial ambassador of sorts, building bridges where hostility threatened to fracture fragile alliances. Her fascination with Earth's biosphere transcended scientific curiosity, turning into a quest to understand humanity's intent and morality. In her crystalline chamber, she spent evenings asking Dr. Sato questions that drilled deep into the philosophical. Why do humans help others? She asked one day, her voice producing a curious hum that resonated with an almost musical cadence. Dr. Sato pondered this. Our world is a tapestry of interconnected lives. Our survival has often hinged on cooperation. Helping others isn't just moral, it's practical. Empathy evolved as a survival tool. Valora's antennae flicked in thought, her multifaceted eyes capturing the human's every nuance. The dialogue between them flowed with an ease that belied their fundamentally different forms and backgrounds. From these talks emerged not just mutual respect but a crucial understanding, one that started to permeate the Council's broader deliberations. Amidst this tenuous cooperation, the politics of Earth's governments also simmered with activity. Backchannels buzzed with encrypted communiques, every terrestrial superpower working tirelessly to leverage humanity's precarious position for maximum benefit. Earth awaited the outcome of these negotiations with bated breath, knowing that their future, their very relevance on the cosmic stage, hung in the balance. Some factions within the Council, like the Prolans, amphibious creatures from a water world whose bodies glowed with bioluminescent algae, embraced the new knowledge. They had long suffered from a respiratory condition that now found alleviation through controlled oxygen therapies. Other factions were less enthused. The economic ramifications of allowing human control over oxygen exports were seen as a looming threat. The Naltars, beings of silicon-based life forms from a planet of molten glass and pumice, deliberated gravely. Their slow, deliberate speech patterns hid swift, calculated minds. They warned of a future where humanity, driven by inherently aggressive tendencies, might pivot from diplomacy to domination. The council chambers thickened with intrigue. Espionage attempts became more frequent. Rival factions dispatched agents to ascertain Earth's true plans. Mistrust was the order of the day, and every alliance, every cooperation, was tinged with doubt. One day, as Alex left a particularly grueling negotiation, he encountered an unexpected visitor. Sklara, a Drelkian warrior diplomat, was inspecting the translucent corridors of the station. The Drelkian race, humanoid yet reptilian, carried an air of fierce nobility. Sklara's piercing yellow eyes and cerulean scales reflected wisdom and the weight of centuries of conflict fought and survived. Her presence sent ripples through the atmosphere of any room she entered, a palpable pressure that made others stand in attention. Drawing up beside Alex, Sklara's voice was low but resonant, like a rumbling storm. "Your people stand at a precipice," she said. "Remember, honor is as essential as air. A race without honor is one doomed to breathe its last in ignominy." Alex nodded, absorbing the gravitas of her words. The implication was clear. Whatever path humanity chose, it had to be paved with integrity. As the research continued, unexpected alliances formed. The divergent species began to see beyond their initial fear and suspicion, finding value in the exchange of knowledge and resources. Yet, this very interconnectedness revealed the fragility of their newfound bonds. As the dire reality of human quarantine begins to lift, the central chamber of the Galactic Council is transformed. The Council, once a shadowy realm of suspicion and mistrust, now buzzes with an electric sense of camaraderie tempered by underlying currents of anxiety. The air is heavy with the scent of ionized metal and undulating energy fields, while holographic displays project data streams and alien glyphs that allude to breakthrough advancements hinging on humanity's unique biological contribution. Alex, whose every nerve ending buzzes with the weight of responsibility, stands tall amidst the alien representatives. His rise from a desperate diplomat trapped in a chamber of horrors to an esteemed negotiator cannot be overstated. His winding journey from standoffish reception to pivotal inclusion serves as a testament to adaptability and the unexpected value humanity places on oxygen, now repurposed from a mere necessity into a universal boon. While initially derisive, the Galactic Council's species have now become dependent on the marvels wrought from oxygen. Their skepticism has waned, replaced by cautious optimism. The Zigorans, recognized for their frail bone structures and vulnerability to their own atmosphere, were among the first to experience tangible benefits. Zigoran children, once unable to play due to atrophic conditions, now engage in vigorous games on their home planets. Biomedical suits infused with controlled oxygen environments have granted them a new quality of life, baking optimism into the plasma conduits pumping through Zigoran streets. Seeing these transformative effects nourishes Alex's resolve, whetting his appetite for further alliances and innovations. He envisions a galaxy where collaborative synergies between species are the norm, an ecosystem of mutual benefit where human ingenuity weaves together with diverse alien capacities. However, as humanity's biological offerings integrate into galactic life, the darker side of rapid advancement begins to cast long, serpentine shadows. Emerging commercial disputes erupt in boardrooms and trade centers throughout the galaxy as various factions angle for their share of burgeoning markets. Lucrative contracts for oxygen-based technology incite envy and ambition, creating fissures even within allied species. Take, for instance, the Taurians, a technologically advanced species renowned for their atmospheric manipulation. Initially, they welcomed humanity's oxygen with open arms, capitalizing on new medical technologies to improve their health and extend their lifespans. Yet, the allure of control and economic dominance soon seizes their strategic planners. They begin seeking monopolistic arrangements, creating tension-heavy negotiations fraught with backdoor deals and aggressive lobbying. Compounding these tensions are socio-economic disparities increasingly evident within the Milky Way itself. Fringe colonies, once peaceful outskirts inhabited by agrarian species like the Lyrathi, start feeling the squeeze of unequal oxygen distribution. What was once abundant on Earth becomes a regulated and contested resource in this new interstellar market, and the Lyrathi find themselves marginalized, their voices drowned amidst louder, more potent interests. Alex's nights are now consumed by labyrinthine political strategies as he juggles interstellar diplomacy with humanitarian ethics. The advancements humanity unlocked are a double-edged sword, a blessing mixed with the curse of newfound inequality and unrest. Alongside him, Dr. Sato, whose methodical and clinical expertise originally spearheaded humanity's foray into the Galactic Council, remains a vital asset. Her analytical genius is indispensable, consistently revealing new potentials whilst highlighting the ethical quagmires accompanying rapid technological dissemination. Within the Galactic Council, a particularly grave concern arises regarding the dependence on human-provided oxygen. What if Earth faces a catastrophic event curtailing its ability to export oxygen? This question prods the underbelly of the burgeoning interstellar alliance. An addictive reliance forms, sparking apprehension amongst council members. Some propose alternative contingencies, fostering minor technological innovations to create synthetic supplements. However, these efforts only partially stem the tide, as synthetic alternatives never quite match the efficiency and efficacy of Earth's oxygen. Against this backdrop, Alex finds himself at a crossroads. He must broker a pivotal summit wherein these diverse and conflicting interests can be aired, mitigated, if not entirely reconciled. The central chamber swells with ambient sound and vibrational frequencies as every dignitary takes their place. Represented here are all species and interests: the Zigorans, striding confidently in their biosuits, the somber Taurians, their calculating eyes flickering with ambition, and the humble Lyrathi, whose quiet dignity is a stark contrast to the animated deliberations swirling around. The summit pivots on Alex's adept mediation. His voice, seasoned by years of delicate negotiation, cuts through the linguistic chaos, urging solidarity over division. He highlights the danger of allowing socio-economic disparities to fracture this fragile alliance, drawing vivid parallels to historical calamities from Earth's own tumultuous past. His speech, layered with passion and pragmatic foresight, ignites fervent debate and subdued agreements. Tensions come to a head when a sudden communication disrupts the proceedings. A massive, impending geomagnetic storm threatens Earth's oxygen extraction facilities, possibly resulting in a drastic reduction of exports. Panic ripples through the assembly, causing speculative murmurs and raising the stakes. Herein lies the climax of their shared journey. Will interspecies cooperation weather this storm, or will distrust and self-interest fracture an already brittle coalition? As discussions turn to action plans, Alex's presence is a stabilizing force amid chaos. Delegates from various species mete out tasks, promising resources and emergency measures while maintaining an uneasy truce. Solidarity erects a scaffold of codependence and rapid adaptability, a unifying front to weather impending crises. The narrative veers into deeper ethical realms as characters grapple with their inherent loyalties and motivations. Alex's strategic maneuvering is informed by Dr. Sato's critical counsel, which emphasizes the imperatives of moral stewardship along humanity's expanding influence. The council sessions pulsate with an amalgamation of technical dialogues about oxygen synthesis and logistics, intertwined with deeper philosophical debates on power and equilibrium. Outside the council chambers, symbols of progress and strife coexist. Travelers now navigate bustling galactic transit routes filled with commerce driven by humanity's game-changing contributions. Conversely, the shadow of growing disparities looms, understated but potent, manifesting in subtle tensions and whispered discontent among the less privileged masses. Alex's internal broodings sketch an equally complex picture of a man on board a mission much larger than any singular vision. His role oscillates between triumphant facilitator and reluctant agent of a sprawling, often unruly fusion of species and ambitions. The layers of responsibility weigh heavy. His decisions, although grounded in an optimistic envisioning of collective progress, also tread on the delicate threads of galactic politics. The climax of the unfolding drama converges as delegates commit to immediate measures. Temporary technological fixes are implemented, coalition forces rally to safeguard Earth's pivotal facilities, and an assurance of interstellar empathy begins to crystallize, albeit tenuously. As Alex stands before the assembly underpinned by the flickering holograms of interconnected worlds, there's an unspoken acknowledgement of unity, yet also an awareness of the fickle nature of alliances built on mutual necessity. Years have passed, and the galaxy has shifted from a place of suspicion and disorder to a coalescing entity where humanity has found its footing as an invaluable player. Alex, now a seasoned and respected galactic diplomat, and Dr. Sato, a pioneering scientist revered across multiple star systems, stand on the observation deck of the Zenith, humanity's first fully integrated galactic outpost. Their expressions reflect not just the journey they've undertaken but also the path that still lies ahead. The Zenith itself is a marvel of engineering and interspecies collaboration, a symbiotic blend of Terran innovation and alien ingenuity. Its alloyed exoskeleton glimmers with a composite sheen derived from a rare mineral native to the planet Xipharis, mined through a collaborative endeavor between humans and the Xipharan species. Inside, the station hums with the energy of myriad species working together, a testament to the power of cooperation when faced with galactic-wide challenges. This atmosphere of collaboration is not easy to sustain. Alex's role has evolved from mere diplomat to a strategic linchpin, balancing the fragile alliances among species that each have their own political aspirations and historic grievances. His days are consumed by intricate negotiations and delicate maneuverings, ensuring that oxygen exports remain a symbol of unity rather than a point of contention. Dr. Sato, on the other hand, directs the Scientific Advisory Council, a multinational assembly working on pioneering research and technological advancements. The Council's breakthroughs often come at a painstakingly slow pace, owing to the variations in physiological and cultural understanding. Yet, Sato revels in these moments of discovery, where common ground is found amidst the sea of differences. The recurring mystery of the human oxygen has become central to interstellar diplomacy. Each planet's ecosystem responds differently to oxygen, triggering a chain of metabolic reactions and evolutionary pathways that even the most advanced alien biologists struggle to comprehend fully. Dr. Sato's extensive research involves addressing these variations, stabilizing their influence in medical treatments, and creating adaptable technologies that work across the galaxy's diverse inhabitants. Against this backdrop of scientific wonder and geopolitical tension, a new trial emerges. Reports have surfaced of a distant star system, Enki Beta 4, experiencing inexplicable environmental collapses. Initially attributed to natural causes, irregularities in atmospheric data hint towards something more deliberate, possibly an act of sabotage aimed at destabilizing the human-centric economic model. Dr. Sato's team is dispatched immediately to investigate. The team includes a diverse group of species with expertise spanning atmospheric science, bioengineering, and xenobiochemistry. Their journey to Enki Beta 4 is both exhilarating and fraught with peril, as they traverse through asteroid fields and navigate through sectors known for piracy. Upon arrival, they find a planet in turmoil, a crumbling ecosystem bereft of life. The evidence points to deliberate tampering, a sequence designed to provoke ecological collapse through untraceable means. This revelation triggers alarm bells across the galaxy. The very essence of mutual reliance is now under siege, threatened by a shadowy adversary with motives that remain obscure. Alex finds himself at the epicenter of a diplomatic maelstrom upon their return. Engaging emissaries and envoys from every known civilization, he orchestrates an emergency summit aboard the Zenith. His challenge lies not just in presenting the findings but in appealing to a galaxy already simmering with distrust. The summit is fraught with tension. Every argument carries the weight of potential alliance ruptures and interstellar conflicts. As Alex addresses the gathered dignitaries, his voice carries the gravitas of their shared journey and the looming threat. He argues for a united response to this new level of sabotage, invoking the mutual benefit all species have reaped through human interactions. The room holds a collective breath, waiting for the tipping point, unity or division. The turning point arrives when Dr. Sato presents the scientific evidence, combining hard facts with an impassioned appeal for collective action. Their words resonate, bridging the species divide through logical and emotional appeals. The summit concludes with an unprecedented resolution, an interspecies task force formed to safeguard against ecological sabotage and ensure the stability of shared resources. However, this newfound solidarity does not come without its share of discomfort. Quietly, in the corners of the galaxy, undercurrents of resentment and ambition brew. Species once dominant in trade and technology now find themselves adjusting to a new equilibrium where humanity holds significant sway. The task force's success hinges on ongoing vigilance and Alex's diplomatic prowess to sure-footed navigate these waves of discontent. The epilogue reaches its zenith as Alex and Dr. Sato ponder the harrowing journey and the precipice of the future. They stroll the observation deck of the Zenith one last time, looking out at the stars. Each pinprick of light holds worlds that bristle with life, potential allies or adversaries in their grand galactic saga. The intricate dance of diplomacy, science, and survival coalesces into a shared ambition, anchored in the human spirit yet boundless in its reach. In this ever-expanding cosmic theater, the fate of mankind intertwines inextricably with those of countless others. They recognize the symbiotic necessity of their stewardship and the perpetual balance it demands. The survival of an entire galaxy now leans on humanity's capacity for wisdom, fostering unity without tipping the scales toward dominance or engendering dependency. The moral of their odyssey remains etched in the stars, a life-affirming reminder that even amid the direst crises, the seeds of unparalleled opportunity can be cultivated. It is a testament to the tenets of astuteness, adaptability, and a collective vision that drive them forward. Their legacy, an ongoing symphony of collaboration and resilience, continues to unfold, echoing through the vast expanse of the cosmos. Reflecting on the past and hopeful for the future, they leave the observation deck, ready to face the impending challenges. In the quiet vacuum of space, a sense of resolve permeates the zenith, an interstellar promise of unity and vigilance, reflecting the ceaseless endeavor towards peace and harmony. The stars await, as Alex and Dr. Sato find solace in the enduring spirit of humanity and the boundless possibilities that lie ahead. If you liked this story based on real events, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to like it. Here you can dive into a different reality every day, where anything can happen. Comment below what kind of story you would like to hear here. Thank you very much for your attention. We are the Sci-Fi family.